All right, excuse me, I got cut off there. So we're going to call this part two of Biden's brilliant economic plan. But I wasn't finished yet. I did want to cover a little bit about the election, and I want to talk about George Floyd again. And for some reason, I just, all of this stuff, because it's still somewhat fresh, we shouldn't let this stuff go. I wonder if anybody's actually noticed this. If there's anybody that knows law enforcement, maybe you have a family member or friend that's a law enforcement officer, ask them about this, especially if they're in Minnesota or something like that. But I have a real problem with this one. I want to show you this picture and look at the tag on the police car and tell me if you see anything wrong with this. So, let me make sure I can get it here. Just doing this off of. But if you look, that says police on the license plate. And I haven't I haven't ever seen a police car with the word police on the license plate ever. Every police car I've ever seen in every state I've ever been in, and trust me, I've been in more states than just Georgia, that the tag on the police car is a government tag. It has its own identification, and it'll have the county of which that car is in service in. So the word police being on a police car like that with no county on there, no government, anything that says government vehicle or anything on there, I have a real problem with. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the social medias during the lockdowns, the first lockdowns in the spring, that that there were people trying to have protests. There were small business owners. There were people that had beauty parlors, and people that cut hair, and restaurant owners, and bar owners, and gym owners, and all these people wanted to go back to work. They wanted to open up their businesses. They needed to. Because that's how they live. That's how they make their money. So, but those things, there were only a handful of people that ever went to those protests, and that's because those Twitter feeds and Facebook feeds and everything else never went anywhere. Nobody saw them. They were censored. Some of them were absolutely deleted. But those feeds, half the people never saw them, so nobody showed up. All right. But then, as soon as this case happens, the same night, the very next day, and all that, there's pallets of bricks left in all of these major cities. Gasoline, weapons, all this stuff. No building permits for these pallets of bricks. They were placed there by the deep state to destroy things. But you also have to ask about the election. And I mean no disrespect to any black people at all. If anything, I'm trying to help you out, help us out, and bring everybody together. But you really have to ask, would there have been the same percentage of black voters if this George Floyd protest had not have happened? If all of this Black Lives Matter stuff that just went through this summer, and it's on every NBA shirt and court, it's on every NFL shirt and court, it's in Major League Baseball, it's on everything, would the blacks, the black Americans, would they have came out in droves in support of Biden if that had not have happened? And I think myself, along with many other people, believe it wouldn't have been. As a matter of fact, Trump probably would have got a much larger percentage of the black vote. So all of this was designed to set up Biden, because I really think, and along with a lot of other people, millions of people, think that if this hadn't happened, that would have been a landslide victory for Trump. There wouldn't even have been any competition. But the other thing you have to ask is Trump's behavior through the summer, late summer, especially the first presidential debate. Trump's a smart man, and I don't think anybody can really deny that. I mean, he's a very sharp individual, highly intelligent. So he knows that if he acts like a spoiled brat baby in a presidential debate, that anybody that's on the fence, that's a moderate, that's not really a Republican or Democrat, he's going to push them away. So I think he's actually playing his part, and I think most of you understand. I really don't believe there's such a thing as Democrat and Republicans. There's just the haves and have-nots. There's the people who are in power and the people who aren't. That's it. And they all work for the same man, which would be the bankers. So, Trump has always been somewhat of an actor, and I don't think he's been on WWE before. He's friends with all those people, and I think he has no problem being the villain and destroying his own campaign to give Biden this shot. So what happens when Biden becomes president? What did you people actually vote for? And when I mean you people, I mean everybody in America that voted for the Democrats. And trust me, I get it on the surface on why you did. But we need to take our, elections a little more responsible and be more responsible about it. And this is what I just showed in the prior video before I got cut off. The only way we can move towards carbon net zero and all of this stuff is to tax things to oblivion. And he's wanting people driving electric cars. He's wanting to destroy big oil. And along with that, destroys the U.S. dollar. It destroys our currency. But in order to get there, that means you have to tax gasoline. That means you have to tax the electrical power. That means you have to tax everything because we still have coal burning plants. We still have all this stuff. So that means they're going to tax it. So that means, we very well in the next year or so could see $10 or $15 gallon gasoline. How do all you people that voted for Biden, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about an extra 20, 25% or maybe even 50% on your electric bill? So instead of a $300 electric bill, you got a $450 electric bill. How does that make you feel? Does that help you? And along with that would be taxing food. So these are really questions that everybody should have asked before the election even happened. And then we had the obvious scandals of the cheating and stuff like that. And I don't even want to get into that, but we know it happened. And I hope you know that I'm really not a Trump supporter. I'm a libertarian, and I don't believe Trump's a true conservative. I mean, anybody that spends trillions and trillions of dollars to bail out corporations after a government shutdown and mandate and all this other kind of stuff, this is theft. It's absolute theft. And we really have to see where we're going as a country. So the way I'm seeing it is that, Biden in the next 4 years can completely destroy our country, completely destroy it. And then if Trump runs again in, 4 years, then it'll be a landslide victory for him again. So he'll get his extra 4 years. And he'll be like, see, I told you so, but by then the damage is already done. How do you think Trump's going to fix it at that point? Especially if we're already sold out to China. These are dangerous, dangerous issues. And we, like I said, we all love the planet and we all want to take care of it, but we have to be responsible with our finances and our economy, and because that's what feeds you. That's what gives you a home. And all of this stuff, we've gone away from being a free country to both parties wanting to give out handouts. And everybody loves those free handouts. But at the end of the day, there's strings tied to those free handouts that are extremely dangerous. A free country isn't safe. A free country means you need to be responsible for yourself. We're not going to bail you out. It shouldn't be my responsibility to pay for somebody else's bad decisions or misfortune. That's what charities are for. So if people want to donate to the charity, and if you look historically, it's always been that way. The charities used to do real well. But nowadays, because the tax cuts and everything else or tax benefits of donating to charity are dwindling away, even for large corporations, it's not as much donation. Government's taking that up. So instead of volunteers, instead of ways of actually stretching a dollar for charities, the government's paying people to do that, and then that opens the door for more fraud. And when it comes to fraud, we haven't even gotten into all the fraud with the Bidens, and these are really dangerous things. And then I have a real problem with Kamala Harris, and her liberal agendas and supporting pedophilia, people and these kind of things. This is not okay with me. If you're a Christian and you voted for them, that's what you voted for. I hope you're happy. And I can almost guarantee you we're going to see shootings increase. We haven't seen many shootings, here lately. Large mass shootings. But now that Biden's president-elect, here they come already. We've already had a couple. And I think that's just going to increase because Biden's going to want to come after the guns. And these are deep state issues that they're, some of them may be fake, but some of them may very well be real. And, it's hard to tell these days what is real and what is fake. But, the other thing about the Thanksgiving dinners, and the holiday seasons, our sporting events, our concerts, everything that's a way of life as Americans that we've enjoyed has been taken away from us. And it's really time to get to your local officials and email them. If you see them in the store, if you know them personally, you need to call them out and say, I don't appreciate what you're doing. We're a free country. We have a Constitution. We have a Bill of Rights, and you're stomping it into the dirt. So these are real issues that need to be taken care of. Enough is enough. Do not rat your neighbor out for having Thanksgiving dinner. Think about karma. All right? And other than that, let's enjoy our holiday season. And I hope all you guys have a great Thanksgiving and a great Christmas. And, and all of these troubles, turn to Jesus. Jesus can help us out in these situations. So, pray for America and do what you have to do to be ready, for the worst possible things that can happen. It's better to have and not need than to need and not have. God bless.